Hi everyone, welcome back. I know this video is a little late since it's already been a few days since the new update, but I still wanted to talk about something from it. So today, let's have a quick little talk about the Evil Realm and what I think about it. So Evil Realm is basically a seasonal event and it resets every season. Each season lasts around 2 weeks, so you have 2 weeks to work on everything before it resets again. Inside the Evil Realm, there are basically 2 trials you can do. One is the Evil Realm Ruin, and the other one is the Evil Lord trial. You want to complete both because they give you a bunch of different rewards throughout the season. But the main rewards you really want to look out for are Evil Will and Shadow Origin. Both of these are pretty important, so I definitely wouldn't skip the Evil Realm if you want to keep your account progressing. Start with Evil Realm Ruin. Basically, what you need to do here is reach the top floor. You start from the bottom and progress by winning each fight along the way. As you move up, you'll also get different options to pick buffs. Personally, I try to choose buffs that increase your damage output because having more damage makes clearing the floors and dealing with the boss much easier. The boss on the last floor can be a little harder than the normal monsters, so having good damage really helps. From defeating the monsters and the boss, you'll get Evil Will and Shadow Origin. This is basically the main place where you can farm them, but remember, how much you can farm is limited based on your combat power. For the Evil Lord trial, what you need to do is basically defeat the Envoy. It's pretty straightforward, and honestly, the rewards aren't anything too crazy, but you should still do it whenever it's available because it's basically free rewards. Now, let's get into Evil Intent, because this is where you'll actually be using your Evil Will. Evil Intent doesn't give you a separate combat power number, but don't ignore it because it can still be pretty useful, especially in PvP. As you can see here, I'm currently at level 8. To level it up, you need Evil Will, and every time you upgrade the Evil Intent Cultivation, your level goes up by 1. Once you reach a higher level, you'll be able to deploy evil shadows from other players you've defeated. And these shadows are actually pretty useful inside Evil Realm. Whenever you unlock a new slot or level, you also get some additional stats, which can help you when you're clearing the floors. So when you're doing Evil Realm Ruin, try to use better evil shadows whenever you can, instead of just leaving the old ones there. There's also a separate ranking system for Evil Realm, so if you're interested in competing for the rankings, upgrading your Evil Intent and using better shadows can help with that too. Overall, Evil Intent isn't something I'd completely ignore. It doesn't directly show a separate combat power increase, but the benefits become pretty noticeable when you're actually doing the Evil Realm content. Now let's get into the main part, Yin Shade. You can find this one inside your abode, and this is where you'll be using the Shadow Origin that we've been talking about. Yin Shade is actually pretty important because unlike Evil Intent, this one can give you a noticeable boost to your overall combat power. So if you're wondering where all that Shadow Origin is actually going, this is basically where you'll be spending it. The main thing you want to do here is use your Shadow Origin to cultivate Yin Shade and keep upgrading it until you start getting Sacred Origin. Sacred Origin is important because you can use it to unlock different talents. And once you start upgrading those talents, you'll also unlock better imprints that you can equip. These can give you some pretty useful additional stats and effects, so there's definitely a reason to keep working on this system.
So yeah, that's why I wouldn't underestimate Shadow Origin. You can also spend some money on Spirit Jade pages if you want to progress this system faster, and they can give you a pretty noticeable boost. But honestly, that part is completely up to you and how much you want to spend. For me, I just take it step by step and use the Shadow Origin you get from the Evil Realm. Anyway, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover about Evil Realm for now. Hopefully this gave you a better idea of how the whole system works and what you should focus on. That's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.